Hello, greetings fellow interweb surfers. Hope you're doing well today. I have a very important message as always. All these videos are here to serve and awaken my brothers and sisters who may be wondering what the fuck is going on. So today's video is done by my good friend Amy. She's putting out a lot of really awesome videos on her YouTube channel, so I'll put her link in the description so you can check her out. But this one is about Agenda 21, COVI pass, and divided America. If you guys haven't figured it out by now, they are just trying to divide and conquer because that's the best method. Since there's so many of us, the only way that they can truly take over us is if we are all fighting against each other. That's why all these riots are happening, the race war, all this nonsense. And coronavirus was just the part of it, just the beginning of it. In this video, you're gonna hear about contact tracing and yeah, just prepare yourself, buckle up, enjoy.
In 2020, it is no secret that the United States is a severely divided nation. It is no longer just Republican versus Democrat, liberal versus conservative, or 1% versus the 99%. It has become rural versus urban, climate changers versus doubters, Black lives versus everyone else's lives, white men against the world, battle of the gender pronouns, fake news versus real news, technocrats versus the people, political correctness and censorship, owning guns versus stopping mass shootings, and now essential versus non-essential business and whether we should wear a mask or not. The coronavirus pandemic has been a game changer in regard to propaganda and mind control. I still remember 9/11 like it was yesterday, but it pales in comparison to the entire world being shut down. It pales in comparison to the tyranny of the Democratic governors. And although it is equally deceitful as 9/11, this is just another level of insanity full of mixed messages. What is so bizarre and coincidental about these lockdowns is that the Democratic governors seem to be drinking the same Kool-Aid. Why are the majority of Democratic states still on lockdown with little hope of reopening and still being forced to wear masks and social distance when many Republican states never even officially locked down? It feels like a nightmare living in one of these tyrannical states. We just want our lives back. And it feels more invasive than that. It feels like they are testing the boundaries of what they can get away with. And despite the number of doctors that have claimed that they have dealt with more suicides than COVID deaths, and despite the nurses who claim hospitals are purposely killing people in the name of making more money, and despite all of the fake COVID deaths that have happened in America, these Democratic leaders are pushing for contact tracing. If you visit the CDC website, you can learn about the Contact Tracer e-learning program. Here is an image from the site showing you all of the topics. The protocols are pretty complex, and they even have training for different scenarios and jurisdictions. My background is e-learning. I used to work with subject matter experts to develop training modules for corporations. In my experience, this type of extensive training from inception to delivery would take well over a year to write, develop, review, and deploy online. So my question is, how long have they been planning this? Have you heard about COVI Pass? COVI Pass is a secure digital health passport which displays a certified COVID-19 test result using secure biometric gateways, allowing individuals to return to work safely. COVI Pass can be accessed on a phone or RFID chip, which provides a unique gateway for government to ensure a safe work environment. COVI Pass can also be scanned up to 10 feet away to ensure social distancing. In other words, COVI Pass is selling out your health privacy, disguised as fake confidence. And when I asked myself about HIPAA laws, of course I researched it, only to find they have a loophole in place to make it legal. This brings me to Agenda 21, otherwise known as the Green New Deal. Agenda 21 stands for Agenda of the 21st Century and is the action plan to inventory and control all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all construction, all production, all energy, all education, all information, and all human beings in the world. It is designed to bury activism and build compliance, modeled after the Chinese government. Agenda 21 was concocted during a 1992 United Nations summit and was heavily supported by Nancy Pelosi and Al Gore and signed by George Bush. Speaking of Nazis, according to the book IBM and the Holocaust by Edwin Black, IBM had a strategic alliance with Nazi Germany, and IBM's technology helped facilitate Nazi genocide. Did you know that IBM is the Nazi collaborator and Agenda 21 facilitator? And what else is IBM doing? They are building smart cities, which forces people to move to one area to live while they retain total control of water, energy, and transportation, all in the name of making a safe place to live. Agenda 21 is aligned with the same goals. You can read about it on the sustainabledevelopment.un website. And remember this weird quarantine video of Ellen? I know many people believe this had to do with Pizzagate, but I truly think she is signaling to IBM and the Coronavirus Agenda 21 New World Order. And do you remember the Together at Home concert, sponsored by Bill and Melinda Gates? This aired on April 18th, 2020, and was hosted by Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert. Jimmy Kimmel rambled about his father, who had a high-powered job at IBM, but joked that the family had no clue what he really did for the company. And Stephen Colbert told everyone during the concert that his father was an immunologist who previously held Anthony Fauci's job, but his father died in a plane crash with his two brothers. Weird. The United Nations is made of 193 countries who are required to pay a membership fee that is determined by a complex formula that factors in gross national income and population. These mandatory contributions fund all United Nations projects and finance other United Nations agencies, including the World Health Organization. The United Nations headquarters is in New York, and the building and land is owned by the Rockefeller family. The United States has been the top donor to the UN, contributing roughly $10 billion in 2018 alone. President Trump has fought to cut funding, but Congress rejected it and approved an even higher contribution. Strange. However, if Trump's proposed 2021 budget goes through this year, the United Nations will undergo significant changes, and this could affect Agenda 21. I found it interesting that the only article I could find on this was written by the Council on Foreign Relations website. On May 19, 2020, Trump threatened to permanently halt U.S. funding to the WHO and reconsider the United States membership in the United Nations. Trump tweeted this letter to the WHO's director, claiming that Global Health Agency floundered in its early response to the coronavirus outbreak. Trump also called out the WHO by saying, "The only way forward for the WHO is if it can demonstrate total independence from China." China just donated $20 million to the UN and the WHO. Trump did not specify what changes were needed for him to restore U.S. donations, but I believe he could be referring to Agenda 21. The new normal has become one of the many coined coronavirus catchphrases for this trauma-based event. Just like stay home, stay safe, and shelter in place, it's all part of the propaganda machine. Speaking of propaganda, psychologists now say people who don't wear masks have one thing in common. They don't like being told what to do. Well, that may be true, but let's also disregard the harm they cause. how degrading they are, how wearing them is unconstitutional, and it's just simply hard to breathe. I'm sure there are people who would disagree with me on that because the divide is strong. But instead of asking, why are we so divided, the real question should be, who gets to settle these differences? And the answer is simple. It is we the people who gets to settle these differences. Because America is still a republic in which elected officials who represent the citizens rule under the Constitution. And if you want to wear a mask, but it is also your right to not wear a mask. Darren Bailey, a farmer and local politician of Illinois, sued our governor on behalf of the state. After weeks of fighting J.B. Pritzker, he was backed in a corner and released his plans for Phase 3 starting May 29, 2020, when he originally had planned to keep Illinois locked down for as long as possible. Because of people like Darren Bailey, it gives me hope that our republic is still alive and well. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Whoever can change public opinion can change the government." Right now, we are living in a time where the president was not the popular vote. Trump's inauguration caused so much anger in America and more division. And now we are divided on how he handled the coronavirus. Some people believe he should have never locked down, and others think he did the right thing. But despite what Trump did, it gave us a window into the pure tyrannical madness behind the Democratic governors. This virus showed us the blatant lies. The CDC just announced that COVID-19 can no longer be spread from surfaces, and that COVID death rates are extremely low. And America was smart enough to call out Fauci and Bill Gates. Remember this famous photo of the coronavirus? The photo credit is given to Alyssa Eckert and Dan Higgins, who work for the CDC. I would just like to point out that these two have also been credited for creating the photography book covers for every single book ever written about the JonBenet Ramsey murder case. And when I did a reverse image search for Alyssa, it just showed the definition of girl. You can visit the website thispersondoesnotexist.com and look at artificial generated images of fake people using the GAN software. I can't say if these people really exist, but I think it's weird. We have now been in lockdown for over 2 months, and life may not be returning to normal as we once knew it, all because the powers that be want us to accept this new normal in this new century. Is the coronavirus pandemic a test for something much bigger? A test to see how much we resist or how much we are willing to let them control us? With that and Agenda 21 on my mind, I still wonder if maybe, just maybe, Trump really is our only hope. I will leave you with that to do your own critical thinking. Until then, stay safe out there and don't stop questioning the world around you.
Hope that was really cool for you guys. I hope this awakens you to the truth and that what we've been told, a lot of it isn't even close to what is true. So take care of yourselves, be safe, stay awake, and not to worry.